Hello again. All right, we are going to look at simplifying rational expression part 2, but before getting to more examples, I want to go over some common mistakes, some of the things that you do not do. All right, do not do. So it's very important that you pay attention to this. So suppose we have an example x plus 1 and or divided by x plus 2. That's a rational expression. The common mistakes that I see is that uh, the students tend to just look at the x on top and x on the bottom and they want to divide. Well, that is not allowed because x is not a factor of x plus 1. This x plus 1 is actually one entity. X plus 1 is a binomial on top that does not have x as a factor. The only way you can divide if you have common factors. In this case, x and x are not common factors. X plus 1 is the expression, and x plus 2 is the expression and the denominator. So in this case, the answer is not 1 over 2. Okay, very, very important that you follow that. Next one, if I give you x squared plus 2 divided by x cubed plus 2, same idea again. You cannot say, oh, this 2 divided by 2, that goes away, and now I have x squared over x cubed, and I'm going to go through and then simplify that. That is not true. You cannot do this because, again, x squared plus 2 is one expression on top, does not have any factors of 2 or anything else, same as the denominator, so you cannot do this. All right, very important. Okay, let's look at a couple of review questions. Review A, example A, let's go through that. Now, this rational expression is already set up. Everything is in factor form, so everything here is factored, which is great. And it is, when you look at it, it is factored. Now look at common factors, and then you go through and divide. So common thing that we see, x minus 2 divided by x minus 2, that's 1. Do we see anything else? No other common factors. So your final answer will be, the numerator is x plus 7. Denominator, you have an x times by x plus 14. Okay, that is it. Okay, example B, we have an expression x cubed minus 9x squared plus 20x divided by x cubed minus 25x. This expression, unlike example A, it is not written in factor form, so we need to factor. Remember, factor, factor, factor. We need to factor the numerator, we need to factor the denominator, put them all in a factor form and go from there. Okay, now go ahead and let's do that. So the first step is the GCF. We look at the GCF. Remember, the very first thing you do, you have to check for GCF. So on the top, I noticed that the GCF of x cubed, x squared, and x, no numbers because numbers are not the same anymore. 1, 9, 20 doesn't have a GCF. So that is only x. So GCF is x. I'm going to take the GCF out, and here's what I put in their factor form. And then denominator, same thing. X is a GCF, take that out, you get this. Now you have to go ahead and factor the inside the bracket, and however you want to do that, it doesn't matter. So this one is the typical trinomial factoring. Two numbers you multiply, you get 20, you add, you get 9 minus 9, so it has to be, both of them has to be minus, so that would be minus 4 and minus 5. So minus 4 times minus 5 is positive 20. Okay, and denominator is difference of the squares, x minus 5, x plus 5. All right, so it's very important that you have your factoring really ready to go, and you're comfortable with that. All right, and then just go ahead, and now we're gonna look at what it is that we can divide with common factors. X minus 5, x minus 5. That's common factor. It's going to go, we're going to divide, it becomes 1. x divided by x also, that's 1. So the only thing that is left is x minus 4 in the numerator and x plus 5 in the denominator. By the way, you don't need the bracket. If you put it in the bracket, that's okay. If you take the bracket out, that's okay too.